Wings winner, Dave Gruel.
Before the racing action got underway Saturday for King of Wings 4 at Oswego Speedway, the Terminal Velocity Showdown Time Trials took place, pitting the ISMA Supermodifieds against the Xtreme Sprint Cars series at Oswego Speedway for the fastest lap in Speedway history, and your ISMA Super Top qualifier was Rob Summers.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't do it without this team here. Vic Miller, Ed Shea, I mean, they just give me such a great car. Chris Burley drove this in the past. He set the track record, and it's just a privilege to get to drive this car here. Just the heat, it brings the oils out of the track. It makes the track a little slick, and just the heat, it slows the cars down. I mean, I think if we had a 65, 75 degree day, we would have been faster than we are right now.
Summers managed a time of 15.349 seconds, just a tick off of the track record of 15.198, but it was Jason Cox, driver of the number 40 Xtreme Sprint car, that would set the fastest lap in Speedway history at a 15.125.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, the car isn't set up quite fast enough yet. I mean, it's still a little bit hairy. I mean, as you can see, it was a little bit sideways and everything, but it was good enough to get that lap done. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's still left in it. I mean, everybody else is going to pick up the pace and everything. I think everybody's kind of figuring the track out and figuring a little bit different lines and everything. And it's just everybody's going to pick up the pace. So it's going to be tough starting from 10th, and we're going to work our way up to the front.
With qualifying in the books, it was feature time for King of Wings 4 in the Pathfinder Bank SBS series would kick things off, and look at the crowd on hand, all of them staying in their seats for this one. The Pathfinder Bank SBS series, known for their 2 and 3 wide racing here at the Steel Palace. And it was Mike Bruce and Cameron Rowe in car number 77 starting up there in row number 1. Bruce, of course, you may remember the last time we were here at the Speedway was in a very tough heat racing accident. They've had to rebuild practically that entire car. He would jump out to the early lead, but on the race's second lap, trouble further back. AJ Burness and Jack Patrick get together going into corner number 1. You get another look at it here from the roof. Look at Robbie Pullen just barely making it through, just ticking the foam, getting on by, and continuing on in this one. After the restart, Andrew Shartner, who had led the series point standings at one point at this season, would take the top spot from Bruce as Mark Castilla in number 69 and Robbie Pullen start to slice their way through the field. It seemed like wherever the 69 car went, the Deuce went as well, as Castilla and Pullen start to work their way through. Cameron Rowe in the Ted Neck Racing number 77, he was on the move as well, making the low side move on Mike Bruce into corner number 1 to take over the runner-up spot. And as we called it earlier, here comes Castilla again, this time underneath Bruce out of turn 2, and look just behind, Robbie Pullen making the move as well down the back straightaway to move further into the top 5 into position number 4. After an incident for Brad Haynes in corner number 3, Rowe running second has his throttle stick. Going into corner number 3, does a fantastic job of getting the car slowed down, only causing minimal damage to the right front of the 77, but he would be done for the day. That would move Castilla and Pullen up into second and third. Craig Harris and Mike Bond worked their way into the top 5, but the battle was at the point between Castilla and Shartner, and what a title fight it was for the top spot in this one. Looking like days of thunder coming down the front straightaway. Shartner and Castilla get together going into 1. The very next lap, Castilla tries it one more time, this time to the low side in corner number 3. They touch again, but this time Castilla is able to make it stick on the low side, moving down to take the top spot. Eventually, Pullen was able to slide through as well into the runner-up position. Shartner would slide all the way back to position number 5, but as they came down to the line, Mark Castilla would get his second career win and second of 2012, joining Robbie Pullen as the only other driver in the SBS division this season to pick up 2 feature wins in 2012 as Castilla pulls underneath the Cam's New York Pizzeria checkered flag into Chris Nelson Insurance victory lane.
Yeah, Andrew and I had quite the battle. I was trying to work him hard either way, clean. I got into him a little bit. I apologize for that, but we were slugging it out there for a couple laps, and I finally got by him, and I knew Robbie was right behind me. I felt him a couple times. Seen him high there. I was just trying to make laps. The car was pretty loose tonight, but I held on.
Oh, that was pretty exciting. I thought they got locked together there for a second in turn 4. I thought they were gonna end up in the wall, and so I backed down a little bit. Probably should have took advantage of it and got around him.
Yeah, no kidding. I think the best we've started this year is 10th, but done nothing but made me a better driver and made my team better. You know, it's a heck of a place to be on Saturday night. You know, there's I probably pass about 10 racetracks on the way here on Saturdays, but I'd rather be here. Can't thank my team enough. Patrick, Dan, Jim Shepsick, my parents, my wife, Danny. It's just a great effort. Ray Hedger puts a great car underneath of us, and you know, my new car owner Doug Susi this year, you know, he kind of took a chance, bought all new stuff, and I think it's paying off.
The SBS Series points still show Mike Bond at the top of the charts, but Craig Harrith and Rob Poland both able to close, running second and third. Timmy Barbeau sits in position number 4. Andrew Schartner is 5th. Oswego Speedway, home of the Supermodifieds known as the Steel Palace. Don't miss open-wheel racing superstars Joe Gosek, Randy Ritzkis, and Otto Sitterling as they wheel the meanest machines on the planet around the only track you can see, Oswego Speedway. Saturday, July 14th at 6:30. It's Callaway Century 21 and Turning Stone Resort Casino night at the races. For more information, visit OswegoSpeedway.com. Saturday, July 14th, Oswego Speedway. Kids 16 and under free with paid adult. Next on the King of Wings bill was the Xtreme Sprint Car feature with Dave Baumgartner in the 55 and Jimmy McCune in car number 88, leading the 13-car field to green on Saturday night. And Baumgartner in the 55 picked up a push early on in this one, couldn't quite hold the bottom side as McCune in the 88 is able to blast his way to the inside going into corner number 3 to take the race lead. And it would be all McCune in this one as it would go 30 laps, green to checkered, with Jimmy McCune picking up the King of Wings victory at Oswego Speedway.
She dropped the cylinder at least 1, maybe 2. About 10 to go, I just went, oh no, come on baby. She started vibrating really, really bad. I can't thank every one of these people enough. Don, Sewell, and Wilshie. They had faith in me. They gave me a ride here about 5 weeks ago. 3 seconds and a win, and a 4th our first night out, man.
Beginning of the race, we were real tight. I couldn't hold the car on the bottom, and I knew if anybody was going to pass, anybody was going to be on the bottom, and I just couldn't hold her down there. And Jimmy got a run on me down the front stretch and just, you know, stuck her down in there, and you know, I just had to give him the room to run. So I guess we're staying here bridesmaid again.
Well, they were first, you know, we were right there. I was trying to make some moves on him and try and get a run on him. You know, it's tight around here. It's hard to get a second groove, and kind of burned my tires up there towards the end, and I was just hanging on. I didn't know where 4th was. You know, we don't have mirrors or nothing, so.
The King of Wings nightcap, of course, the ISMA Supermodifieds with their 50-lap main event, and it was Mo Lilji going away from the pole position with Dave Gruhl on the outside, subbing in for Paul White in the Sweet 16 owned by Steve Miller, as White was unable to get a flight from Texas into Syracuse, so Steve tabs Dave Gruhl to fill in the seat, and he immediately jumps out into the lead in this one, pulling away from the field, lapping cars with ease in the number 16. Further back, the battle was on between Jeff Locke in car number 37 and the 75 of Liquid Lou Ciccone. And Locke on the inside of the speedway, he was on a rail in the 37, as we'll see later on in this one as they battle out of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway just ahead of Charlie Schultz. As Gruhl got into more lap traffic, that allowed the field to close in just a touch as Lilji began to draw a beat on the leader. But Dave McKnight, looking to the low side of Gruhl, 1 lap down, makes contact, gets into the inside up rail, and Lilji, with nowhere to go, gets into the outside wall in turn 2, ending his day. Later on in this one, Locke, as we had said, he was fast all day long, and with just 10 laps to go, he looked to be closing in on your leader, Gruhl, but he gets into 1 just a little too hot. Gets out of shape, spins, and he too ends his day on the outside of corner number 2 in the 37, and that left Dave Gruhl uncontested for the rest of the way in this one. Gruhl picks up his first career ISMA win, and the very first win for that man right there in the black hat. Steve Miller, after 45 years of trying, he picks up his first Supermodified main event. Johnny Benson came across the line in second. Charlie Schultz finished the day in position number 3. A huge crowd of well-wishers in victory lane for both Dave Gruhl, this man right here, and Steve Miller as they pick up their first win together at Oswego Speedway.
I would not have even jumped in the car if I didn't think I had a chance at winning. If there's no chance of winning, there's no chance in racing that night. So I believe Steve could give me a car to win, and Kevin, with Kevin's motor in there, I knew we had a really good combination. The past couple of times Paul's been here, he's been really quick with a car right out of the box, and he's had a little bit of tough luck here and there, parts breaking, stuff like that, but they made all the necessary changes in the team as far as parts on the car and everything, and this car is just a missile.
Paul White couldn't make it up from Texas this weekend, and I couldn't think of anybody better than Dave to drive it. And he got a weak moment and said he would.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We were hoping to be able to win, but I drew so bad starting 10th. But Brad Lichty, everybody at Papco Transportation did a great job. Got to thank the GM PartsNow.com and Burgess Chevrolet, Benson Speed Equipment, just everybody involved. And just a lot of fun to come out and race these open wheel cars. And, don't get much opportunity. But again, Brad Lichty gave me an opportunity to run a couple years ago. I built my own, I wrecked it, and now I'm back driving his again. And and a lot of thanks to Mike Lichty too. He's really helped me try to figure these cars out a little bit, and it's just been a pleasure doing it.
Yeah, it'd been nice to get a repeat here, but like Dave and I talked this week, and we knew coming up here, the last 6 times we've been here, we have absolutely stunk, and it's been bad from the drop of the green, and we made wholesale changes coming up here, and we unloaded and we were pretty fast all day long. Got third quick, was able to pass a couple guys there in the heat race, and man, come home with the top 3, be back on the podium here in Oswego. Feels real good.
Ready for a night out on the town? Tonight, try something different. Lighthouse Lanes in Oswego, a family-friendly recreational facility. You won't miss a minute of the action. You can enjoy wings, burgers, pizza, and more right at your laneside table. Stop by for an evening of cosmic bowling. Catch all of your favorite games on our big screen TVs. Plan your next party. We have room for up to 150 people. It's family-friendly fun for all ages. Lighthouse Lanes in Oswego, Route 104, next to the Speedway.
This Saturday night, Oswego Speedway back in action for Galloway Century 21, Turning Stone Resort and Casino night at the races with the Novella Supermodifieds, Pathfinder Bank SBS, and the return of the ATQ MRA TQ Midgets.